Hello everyone, welcome back. Oh, I'm so happy that we're together again. For the subscribers, thank you so much for returning once again to watch another dream that I have for you, spending some time with me. And for the new subscribers, thank you so much for finding this channel and watching one of my videos. Hopefully there's one in there that you think is interesting, and I openly welcome you to view the others that I have in there. And if you'd like to get notifications on the next one that I have, please subscribe, and that way you'll just get a notification and you'll be told that I have a new one out there. So, okay, this is a dream that I had back in November of 2012. Okay, let's get started. Okay, let's see. This dream, and just a quick note, the Lord presses these dreams upon me in the first person, so I am best to share them with you the way the way he kind of speaks to me. So if I say I or me, it's because that's how he put them into my mind, that I'm seeing them. So I'm not really talking about me personally, I'm just talking about how he is interpreting his message through this dream to me. So anyway, okay, so I see myself going to this hospital. I'm taking my daughter and my best friend. My daughter has a funny, weird, yucky little rash on her scalp, under her hairline, and I was concerned with it. And then my best friend had put on some face cream, and it was blue, and it turned her face kind of a teal blue, and the more she put it on her face was turning royal blue. And I'm looking at her going, whoa, that doesn't look quite right. I said, you know what, I'm taking the both of you to the hospital. So we get to the hospital, and I check them in, and they're being helped, and they're being, that's all settled. Then I see myself going inside this empty room, and it's dark, and I think they're doing construction, because I can see like the plastic hanging down, like the dust cover, and the desk is empty, and nobody's there. There's no computer or anything. So it looks like that part of the hospital is under construction. So I thought, well, I'll just walk through this room and see what's going on in here. And it's really dark, and I can see some light at the end. So I keep walking through till I get to the light, and I end up outside on a patio, and there's people out there. It's some sort of barbecue or cookout, and they're eating, and they're just walking around and having a good time, and I can see they're cooking food, and they're all there. I know they're there for someone. And I look around, and I see this young boy walking around by himself. He's wearing this white tunic shirt and and white pants, and he's got a bowl haircut. If you're not familiar, he has his hair is long and straight and brown, and back in the 70s, they said if you put a bowl on your head, it looked like someone cut around the edge of the bowl, and that was the hairdo. And that's what he had. It was just this long in his face haircut, and I couldn't see his face, and he's looking down, and he looked so alone. He looked like alone in a crowded room, and I knew everybody was there for him, but no one was really talking to him. No one was socializing with him at all. And I thought, it just didn't feel good. Like, they felt selfish to me. Like, why are you having this big party outside fun thing, enjoying each other, but you're supposed to be here for him, and you're ignoring him? And I can see behind him a deep red fence. And he's like walking past me with the fence behind him. And I just remember thinking, I was so sad. I was thinking, you know, how selfish these people were. You know, they were pretending to be there for him, but they weren't. And I said, you know what, I'm leaving. So I walk out of the hospital room outside of the hospital, and I see the other side of the red fence, and I'm still thinking in my mind, that is just a selfish thing, that those people were there, but not really for him. And I see this man, he has brown hair, you know, and he's got 2 children, and I think it was a boy and a girl, and they look like nice enough people. They walked past me, and they the father put one hand on a board on the red fence, and it gave way, and he pushed, and they squeezed through this board and went inside into the party, and then the board closed. And I thought, wow, this is something, huh? This place, it's like a private little party, and you can't even get in. You know, it's like this is the only place that was like this, and it can't be shared by anybody because they're not sharing it with anyone. And it was like this, you know, the guy knew which board to push to even get in. I thought, wow, there are just a bunch of selfish people in there, and I was really disappointed when I looked over. Then I looked over to my left. The board was on the fence was on the right. I looked over to my left. I saw these stairs, and it reminded me of like a stairwell, like an outside to like a library or to a museum. But I saw these people, and they were scattered here and there, and they were all sitting, and they were reading books, and they had little backpacks, and I thought, okay, that's interesting. You know, I'm looking at these people sitting and reading on these steps, and I thought that was interesting. And as I looked down below them, I saw like a fountain. And the fountain was, it was separated into 3, and it was rectangular shape, similar to the image that you're seeing. And there was some sort of bush or plant in the center, but then it moves. So I went up the steps to get a better look at it, but I went all the way to the top, and it was like no one was really seeing what I was seeing. Their heads were all in their books. Everybody was reading their book. And I looked down the steps to the water, to the fountain, and I see the bush move from the center to the right. And then all of a sudden, and it was big. It was like the size of a car, a small compact car. And it moves and morphs into the shape of a frog. Like someone had cut it to be the shape of a frog, with a mouth and eyes and everything. And I was like looking at it going, wow, why does that look like a frog? I remember thinking, like, it looks like a frog. Well, the next thing, I see something coming out of the frog's mouth, and I'm able to zoom in, and I look close. They're flies coming out of the frog's mouth, and they go into a long line. It was just a line of flies, and they go from the right part of the pond, the fountain, across the middle to the left side where it was completely open, and they start spinning like if they're on a spindle, like thread, and they're just winding themselves up on a spindle, similar to these images, and they're just spinning and spinning and spinning. It's getting bigger and bigger, and it's wider, and it almost looks like a cocoon now, and it's a cocoon of flies. And I'm just looking at this going, what is this going on? And they're all coming out of the mouth of the frog, and the more flies and the more larger, the larger this cocoon got, the frog shape of the bush dissipated until the frog was gone, and it was just the cocoon of flies. Well, then the cocoon's spinning, and I see a head appearing from the cocoon, and it's a male, young male, maybe 11 or 12 years old, and he's got a buzz cut, like it's short on the sides and flat on the top, and it made me think like the 50s, like Leave It to Beaver, Eddie Haskell. I know it might be some before your time, I apologize, but just think of clean cut, no hair on the sides or back, and then kind of a straight flat top. And his head is spinning, his eyes are closed, and he's inside this cocoon. And then, okay, shoulders come. Oh, okay. And he looks like a Caucasian male, you know, like just, and his eyes are closed, like it looks like he's sleeping. And then arms, and then a torso. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then the strange thing, I see blue swim trunks. These blue swim trunks, and legs and feet, and he's whole. The flies are gone, the frog's gone. All is left is this human form of a young male with his buzz haircut, and now his eyes opened. And I know exactly what this is. I'm standing up, and I'm like starting to freak out, like, oh my gosh, I know what this is. And I knew that he was there to battle the boy in the white tunic with a bowl haircut behind the red fence. I knew he was there to battle him, and I heard the word battle. And he starts swimming in the pond, and he's casually swimming, like easy, and looking like he's blending in, right? Like everything is fine. But I know that he's more than what he seems. And I point with my right arm and my index finger extended, and I point and I say, the eternal is here. The eternal is here. Well, the first time I said it, no one responded. All the people are still in their books reading. And then I said it the second time, and they stopped, and they looked towards where I was pointing at the fountain, at the boy, and they look at me, and the look on all of their faces was horror and terror, and they stood up and they just ran all over the place. The weather started changing, and it was getting windy, and things are blowing around, and I knew I had to get out of there too, because this was going to be a major battle between those two. And so I look behind me and I see lockers. And these were the ones with the feet, so you could crawl under. And I saw someone crawl under the lockers, and they were holding on. And I looked, and there was one that was open. So I dashed, and I went under just like they did, and I'm holding on. And something said, this is not a safe place. I could hear it in my head. This is not a safe place. The Eternal can just rip these out with his mind. You have to go. You must go. And I pulled myself out from the lockers, and the wind is blowing. I look to my right, and I see a door. But the door changed. It looked like a vault door now. And I knew, with the tumblers, and just like the image you're seeing, exactly, even the same color. And I knew, if I felt it, if I went through that door, I was going to die. It would be like my tomb. Then I looked, and I was to my right. When I looked to my left, I saw another door. The door on the left changed to look like this red house, white and red house. And I could see birds flying in the sky, and it looked like a beautiful day. The sky was blue, and it had red trim and red flowers outside. And I thought, wow, yeah, this is the place I want to be. And I ran for this door, and I woke myself up from the dream. So that was the battle, the dream I had. Jesus loves you, and so do I. And I don't know what's coming next, but take care, and God bless you.